Fans of college football prepare to focus on the college playoff and the 4 teams that will be included in the race towards a championship. However, many fans consider the champion of Division I football nothing more than a myth based on opinion.
One of the most important things when you have a bowl game, you get additional practices for people who are on the team, but you also get more eyeballs, not just for the fans, but also for future recruits.
This year, same team, different location, as the Badgers were in Bloomington over the weekend against a hungry Hoosier team. You look inside the academics and some of the other disciplinary measures, and it's like, well, they did good there, and literally the only reason we're firing him is because he couldn't win? Ohio State refuses to play Indiana in the regular season in an effort to increase their chances of making it to the Big Ten University's championship game. But what good is getting there if you don't win at all?
Some people might say that it's just the football guys that play, because that was how Indiana scored his first touchdown of the game, was that Utah gave up a fumble on the kickoff, actually. And Indiana was able to capitalize in the best way you can with a touchdown.
Indiana has 2 weeks in between this matchup against Appalachian State and the Big Ten Conference Tournament. In addition to that, a few players could be preparing for the NCAA tournament in New York City. Now, this did not hurt the Big 12. Their champion in 2015, Oklahoma, made it into the playoff. But the conference has fallen in prominence now that it only has 10 schools. The storm is over now, and the downpour is about to begin. Indiana at the Purdue pitch, not expecting a fight from the Boilermakers, but points early on were very hard to come by. Purdue not willing to bow down, but eventually the Hoosiers will be done. Indiana up by 2 tries 20 minutes into the first half. Connor Marsh fielding the kick, and the moves by the forward are too quick for the black and gold. Down the field he goes, headed for the, the grass is the only thing that can tackle him on that run. Jake Hidalgo with the ruck. Mike Weimer gets a pick and go to the left as scrum half Takuro Suzuki catches up to the play. Quick out to Marsh before taking it over the try line himself. Hoosiers up 24-0 at halftime. In the second half, the highlight of the day, Travis Katona fields a kick from Purdue. He goes down. Takuro Suzuki gets to the breakdown with the pass out to Alex Dorier, and Indiana decides to get their hands in action. And what that means is getting out to the wing. None other than All-American Jake Hidalgo on the outside. And try as the Boilermakers might, he's getting 5 on this one.
You know, just instincts kick in, and when that guy draws real close, you just kind of lower the shoulder a little bit, get some leverage on the arm, and just push that fend. You know, that's just basic rugby.
Later on in the second, Katona about to get taken out. Hidalgo with the quick hands saves it for the Hoosiers. On the breakdown, Suzuki gets it out to Teddy Terraces, who gets the skip pass to Tyler Sousley, who goes virtually untouched into the try zone. You can't touch this, Boilermakers. He gets 4 scores on the day for the Hoosiers.
Purdue was giving us a really good game, but we stepped it up and started playing our own ball and came out with the W.
Indiana wins and keeps Purdue off the scoreboard. This is Teddy Terraces' last year on the team. One thing he's proud of is the goose egg for the Boilermakers in 3 straight matches.
3 in a row. So yeah, never gave up a point to Purdue, so that's always good as a Hoosier.
Up next for Indiana, a crucial match against Michigan.
Indiana has only dropped 2 matches this year, a home loss to Notre Dame College in the fall, and a road loss to Arkansas State to begin a brutal spring schedule, but the team did this on purpose. Head coach Sarasopa Inari says the intent was to make sure Indiana is ready for the playoffs.
I want to build up to the point that we peak at the right time. The first goal we set was to win the Big Ten, but the second part of the goal was to make a good effort and take a crack at the national title. So that's where we are at this point.
The Hoosiers kept a hold of the Big Ten University's trophy for the 2nd year in a row without Captain Bryce Campbell. Campbell has spent some time with the national team this season, but will be in the lineup this weekend when the Hoosiers take on the Cougars of Brigham Young.
They're a solid team. They have been for years. Two of the players on their team I played with on the Eagles. They're going to be tough.
Campbell returned to the lineup in time for the home match against Penn State, and he says the way the team played in that game was one of the key moments in what the postseason could bring.
We kind of proved to ourselves, so many other people, that we can win a national championship. Because that game, we didn't play perfect by any stretch, but we controlled pretty much the whole game. We thought if we can fine-tune some of that stuff that we didn't do right in that game, and we still won by a couple tries at least, we can beat everybody in the country.
Now, Campbell is a finalist for the Rudy Schultz Award, which is given to the best player in men's college rugby. Schultz was a rugby player on the 1920 and 1924 Olympic teams, which brought home the gold in both of those Olympics. Campbell did tell me that one of the future goals for him is playing on the Olympic squad in 2020, which would be the centennial celebration of those medals. Now, yes, schools make millions of dollars, and the NCAA tried to rein this in during most of their existence, but a case in 1984 from the University of Oklahoma and the University of Georgia marked the first case limiting the ability of the NCAA to prevent schools from making money, mainly by broadcasting their own games. Addressing concussions is one of the issues plaguing the NFL. They're also battling ratings. Major League Baseball was in a crisis of viewership, but with the Cleveland Indians in a World Series against the Chicago Cubs, ratings for Game 5 this past Monday were better than football between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings on Monday. Just in case you're wondering where I have been, I've been back there this semester and off camera, but there are too many storylines to get to this week to not assist the crew. The football team is looking to break a 3-game losing streak in the postseason. The last time Indiana won a bowl game was in 1991, a shutout win 24-0 over Baylor in the Copper Bowl. Coincidentally, that was also the last season Indiana went to back-to-back bowl games, a feat the Hoosiers accomplished again this year. Last year, they were on the East Coast in the postseason. This year, the team heads west. While the basketball season has concluded, any Indiana fan knows news about the hard court is never out of the spotlight. First, a new coach, and now the announcement of 4 players declaring for the draft. For the average college football fan, that extension to the season features a myriad of matchups and chances to see teams in actions that might otherwise go unnoticed, which is the very reason those games exist. They're designed to ensure that smaller conferences receive just as much primetime exposure as their larger counterparts, without the excuses provided during the regular season about who does and does not matter. So thank you for watching this week. You can always throw us a suggestion or any questions about sports our way by visiting our Facebook page at IUSTV Sports or by interacting with our Twitter at IUSTV Sports. Toss it up. Find out if we'll catch it. Until next Sunday, be proud and cheer loud.